Welcome to RadioBuzz.com and On the Road with MattyRocks, on location in Roseville, Minnesota. I'm joined by special guest and the talented Beverly McClellan. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you very much for having me again.
Many listeners will remember Beverly from the hit reality show The Voice. We're going to touch on that a little bit later. But Beverly, I want to give Radio Buzz listeners an insight to who you are that may not be familiar with you, where you came from, and how you got into the music industry.
Where I came from? Well, I was born in Kingsport, Tennessee, because I couldn't be born in Gate City, Virginia. They have no hospital there. So, but that's where I grew up between the two. It's right on the line, and started playing music as young as 5 on the piano. Church is where I started.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I understand you're very multi-talented with many different instruments.
I play a little bit of everything that I get my hands on, so I don't consider myself to be a master of anything, but I dabble in all of it.
What's your favorite instrument to play?
Sitting right here. Piano. For sure. Beautiful
instrument. It sounds like, first came the musical instruments and then came the singing, your most powerful instrument at the age of 24. What got you singing?
I'd rather be singing and doing what I love than, doing a field just because it's something to fall into. And, everybody needs somebody to fall back onto, don't get me wrong. But you know what? If you use your dream as your cushion, man, a lot of times if you've got so much faith in it, it won't fail you. You know what I mean? Yeah. I say go for it. Go big or go home, man.
Exactly. Keep yourself in the game.
Yeah.
Who are some of your musical influences as you've gone through the years?
Oh, gosh. Well, number one, I love me some Etta James. Ain't no two ways about that. And some B.B. King, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Journey, we got to have some Journey back in the day. I've been caught listening to Def Leppard. I've been caught listening to Snoop Dogg. I go for all over the map, but just whatever, music that, just has that soul about it, you can't help but like it, and it don't matter what genre it is. That's what good music does to anybody. It'll grab you.
Cover all the genres.
Yeah.
What about some of your non-musical influences in your life?
My grandmother, hands down, Mama de Spain, Nettie Sue de Spain. Okay. And my mother, being a piano player and singer. If Tina Turner and Pat Benatar had a baby, that'd be my mom. Right. She's powerful too, You
have currently 5 independent album releases to date. One of them is Uncommon Ground, Back to My Roots, As a Girl, and Talk of the Town, and you have one most recently in 2011, which is a self-titled Beverly McClellan, which I just had the privilege of listening to, and I have a couple favorites on that. So do you, in your earlier career, you won the New York National Music Festival as the overall performer.
Best overall performer.
Best overall performer. What does that do for a musician's confidence level?
Well, considering that they put me in on a hip-hop genre there to have a second performance where some other people could come in to look at me that didn't get to look at me on my original performance date, that was pretty big for that to be the case, because not only did I feel like a sore thumb, but after I got done singing, I said, I just want to let y'all know soul ain't got nothing to do with color. Doesn't matter where it comes from as long as you got it. And the whole room was like, yeah, how can you disagree with that? Because I don't do what they do and they don't do what I do. Exactly. But you appreciate it nonetheless because it's moving either way, so that's cool.
Right. All right, we move on to The Voice. How did you end up on the show?
I ended up on this show because the fella that I recorded my last CD with, the last 2 CDs actually, with Chris Monteleone over at Soundbox Records, he sent me this email saying, hey, I got this interesting email, and you really should check it out because I think it's really for you, man. I know you won't do it. That's all he had to say. I know you won't do it, but you really should. And I went home, read it, and I was like, well, what can it hurt? What could it hurt?
Right.
No more than that. So I just went for it. About an hour later, they gave me a call and said, hey, man, can you come to, this is McNulty, casting for NBC. And I said, what? I guess it's for real. It just kept getting more real and more real every time, till eventually I'm sitting right there with Christina Aguilera as my coach. You know what I mean? That's how real that got.
Right. Real and real quick.
Real quick. Yeah, man.
What about the blind auditions? Was that portion of the show, was that nerve-wracking?
Oh, are you kidding me? Yes. I had my heart in my throat. That was crazy for all of us. Not just me, I'm sure, but for all of us,
Because I'll tell you, as a viewer, I think I had the same feeling for all of you, that went through that.
Yeah.
So you could definitely tell it was probably a little nerve-wracking. You sang Piece of My Heart, and you proudly did it justice. How did you end up singing that song?
They gave it to me.
Okay. So one that they chose for you.
They always chose for me.
Okay.
Until I got to B.B. King.
Okay.
And then I said, I have to have this one, not the one you've chose. My coach, Christina Aguilera, hands down went, oh my God, yes. That would be awesome. Let's get a piano. Let's get some cellos. A cello. She was really excited. I was really excited. That, to me, was the highlight of the show, getting to do B.B. King.
Right. What's going through your mind when Adam and Christina's chairs swing around?
Christina Aguilera she went first. I'll never forget it, and that's why I went with her.
Okay.
I'll never forget it, and that's why I went with her, because I thought, man, with a voice like that, and you spun around for me first. Right. Sorry, Adam, I got to go for her, man, because... Right, what she sings her face off, and he does too, but not like her.
Right.
I
think you made the right choice.
Oh gosh, I know I did. And I love Adam too, so it doesn't matter. I got to be good friends with all of them. So ultimately advice it didn't matter whose coach was who. Ultimately, at the end of the day, they were all there to help us. So yeah.
You definitely had a sense of emotion after all the judges' comments. Was that how big was that? To hear all those comments coming from all four of them.
I was so in shock. If you're talking about the initial blind, I was just so in shock that I went out there and I actually did that, being common person, that just watches TV and, goes and plays gigs in the afternoon for some, for money to pay my bills. I was just like anybody else, except I got to sing for a living, to pay my bills. But then to go and do it on TV, that's big.
Kind of an overwhelming feeling.
That's big. And I was so nervous that I don't think in the beginning that I could just even comprehend what happened. Because after I walked off the stage, my hands were shaking, and I said, holy crap, that just happened. Right. I'm wearing the lipstick to prove it.
Yeah.
Like, that just happened.
Right.
It's crazy.
A lot of great contestants on the show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How tough was it to compete against these individuals and seeing them go home? Because I'm sure you made good friends with them.
Yes, I did, and that to me was the worst part of it. Even though you go into it and it's competition. I've never done anything like this, except for the New York International Music Festival, and it was certainly nowhere along the lines of a reality type show. But as far as a reality show, I do not regret in one way, shape, or form being on The Voice, because Mark Burnett and NBC, they all did a wonderful job, and they got coaches that have actually been in the business for quite some time and still are, to guide people like myself that maybe don't necessarily need help playing and singing, or maybe that's not the thing that I learned from them. Maybe it was, how to face Hollywood, how to brave Hollywood, because it's a whole different ball game, you know, to go up there and sing a song on stage in front of a bar versus the world.
Right.
So yeah, I just, you know, it was a lot of change, and it all come at me pretty quick, and I got to give it to the people that were 16 years old, like say Xenia, you know, and baby Raquel that was on my team. You know, come on, they're 16 years old and they're doing that. I'm grown, and that was still a lot, but you know what I'm saying? It's all we all ever dream of, is giving our music wings to fly and do what, you know, we love on a bigger scale. So that's really all we can ever hope for at the end of the day, is that we reached somebody and that we had something to say.
Right. And I think that show was very well done.
Yeah.
Really well done.
Me too.
You finished in the top 4 against, you know, with Javier, Vicky, and Dia. What great contestants to be standing next to.
Cannot complain. Cannot complain about that, for sure.
Now the dust is settling from the whole experience on national TV. What's the future hold for Beverly McClellan?
Music. It'll always hold that. Just don't know where it's going to go.
Right.
Because now it's been fed some fuel.
Right.
And it's got to go somewhere. So I'll tell you what, I mean, as far as the direction and everything that it's going to go, who knows where it's going to take off and go to. I hope it flies everywhere. But, you know, that's another thing. Like, we can all only just hope that. But, you know, as far as I'm just going to keep putting out music that I love and I love to sing, so that every time somebody sees me sing something, they're going to get something that is heartfelt, something that they felt like, wow, you know what I mean? Hopefully that's what they feel when they walk away, like, I love that message. I love the way she sang that. I love the way the band played that, and just the whole evening was a good time. That's what I want people to feel, you know, like refreshed and happy, and, you know.
Right. Reach your audience and make them feel good.
Yeah.
Let Radio Buzz listeners know where they can keep up with you, and more importantly, all your music.
So far right now we've got a lot of things underway, like a master website is underway, but obviously I'm available on MySpace, under Beverly McClellan. I'm, you know, under Facebook under Beverly McClellan. I have a national NBC.com still has some sites on me and how to reach everything. Twitter, I'm available. Beverly Shane. I had started a stick cam, but stay tuned for that, because I just need to get with technology a little bit more, because, you know, you kids today, let me tell you, you got it easy when it comes to everything just being so at your fingertips. But, you know, someone like me is like, you know, I'm making old school where, you know, I'm looking for a cassette recorder today, and they looked at me like, you're insane. You know, so I got to catch up with the times. The music I can play, but, you know, it's like right. Being digital and, you know, a media type, it's not me, man. I try. Twitter, I do run my Twitter, and I answer as many people as I can on Facebook and so whatnot. And as far as anybody wanting to listen to any of the albums that I do have available, I only have 2 albums available right now, because I'm going through my old ones to revise them and put them in a better form as far as like record them better. So hold on to all your bootleg copies if anybody's got some bootleg Beverly McClellan, because I'm telling you, it's going to be an archive thing, you know, for one day. Really, it is right now, because it won't ever be made that way again. You know.
Kind of off the music note here. Today is a remembrance of the September 11th tragedies that happened 10 years ago. Do you remember that day, where you were?
I'll never forget where I was. I was standing at my best friend's house in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I turned on the TV, and it was early in the morning, because my friend had called me and said, you are never going to believe what's going on. Turn your TV on. And I'm like, is this a joke? Like, is this, like, how can this just be, like, really, are we watching this right now? And it's on every channel? I was terrified. I watched it in fear, like, this is the end of the world. I just know it. you know, and I don't ever want to wish that feeling on anybody. I hope we all can get with the universal peace thing, man, and just realize we're all humans before we're anything else. Before we're any religion, before we're any, you know, whatever, you know, you're human. Doesn't matter your color, your creed, you're nothing.
Right.
You're human before you're anything. And if we all just kind of stuck to that, maybe there'd be a little bit more love. I don't know. You know, it's sad, really, and I feel for all of the people that ever had, you know, family members or whoever, whatnot, you know, whoever they had invested in there, you know. Even if it's just like you don't know a soul, you can't help but have a heartfelt, you know, that it's humans losing their lives right in front of you. Right. You just, there's nothing sad, there's just nothing sadder. It really is.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
You're gearing up for your show at the Dakota Jazz Club.
Oh, yeah.
In downtown Minneapolis.
Yeah.
So what can we expect from that?
I think it's going to be a real nice, intimate look into the music and what it is that I do. So anybody that, you know, gets a chance to come and see that one's going to be real nice because it's just me. It's just me. It's going to be just me and a piano. And I think Kevin Bowe may stop by and possibly maybe we can get Bruce. You know, I really don't know what their schedules are, but I'm hoping that can be the case. If not, that, you know, that's okay too. It's just I spent the last week doing some really, you know, fabulous things with the both of them. So, but either way, the Beverly train's going to roll through Minnesota here. So, I just, you know, I hope to get a good response because I ain't going to do nothing but leave my heart out there. Hopefully people can see it and they appreciate it. So, you know,
right.
That's all we can hope for.
Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing you live.
Right on.
So, Beverly, thanks for taking the time out for this interview. It was a pleasure meeting you.
No worries.
And good luck to you and continued success in your music. Radio Buzz listeners, you've heard it here. Beverly McClellan on the road with MattyRocks. Stay tuned for a few tracks from Beverly's music. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. Peace and love, y'all.